Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Now that winter's here, it's very important to think about mental health. Not that it's not important all year long, but some people start to feel a little bit more blue now than most other times of the year. And for that, we have the Summit County Clinical Director of Valley Behavioral Health, Dottie. Dottie Wilson, how's it going?
Good, Dodie.
Dottie.
That's okay.
I'm so sorry. Dottie Wilson, I apologize.
That's okay.
How are you doing today, Dottie?
Good.
Excellent. Great to have you in here.
Thank you.
So now that winter's coming along, I know that some people have holiday blues during the season, and they might feel a certain way. Explain how that can be.
Yeah, so it's actually a lot more common than people would think because of a few different reasons. So sometimes the holidays bring up a lot of things from our past. It's kind of one of those reflective times at the end of the year, reflecting over past years or even just this one past year. And so we think of maybe loved ones that we've lost or maybe regrets that we have, things like that. I think especially in this community, but really in any community probably, there are a lot of media expectations. So TV and commercials and even radio have a picture of what the holidays are supposed to look like. Right.
How happy you should be in your new car or however. Yeah.
Exactly. So right. Cars, homes, clothes, things, so that really connects directly to finances, and that may be an unrealistic expectation for a lot of people, what they can afford, but what they would like to provide, especially for children, because it's such a consumer holiday.
So all of those cultural connotations can kind of come into play and really affect how you feel, not only about yourself, but about your place in the community and everything.
Exactly.
And I think it's an important distinction to make also, that it's normal to feel that way. It's not, you shouldn't feel abnormal for feeling a little off.
Exactly, and thanks for bringing that up, because that when we have an unrealistic expectation of how we should feel, that actually creates a really negative cycle and actually making us feel a lot worse.
It contributes to the problem rather than helps it at all.
Exactly, and so it's really important to be able to understand, why do I feel the way that I feel? And that kind of segues into distinguishing between clinical depression, which is a bit more significant. It can last a lot longer, and there may not be just one particular reason, or holiday blues, as we're talking about now, or even seasonal affective disorder.
Depression, that's what I was going to say. Just the changing of the seasons as well. So what are some major distinctions that someone who's sitting down, maybe reflecting right now, saying, do I have clinical, or is this just something holiday blues? How can someone distinguish between the two of them? Right,
so just for somebody watching TV, I think probably the biggest distinguishing factor would be that if you really can't identify, if it seems to have been going on for many months and you've tried different things in your own life that have in the past helped to make you feel better, but you can't even get yourself up to do them this time of year or whatever time of year, and you keep trying, but you don't get any better. That may be a sign that you need to go see a therapist or talk to somebody, a professional. However, you could talk to a professional or a therapist at any time, even if it is just about holiday blues.
It's never bad to go see and talk to someone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, is it necessary to go see a professional per se, or is it okay to just lean on a friend or a close relative, someone that you really confide in, that can hear you out and really listen to your problems? Is that something do you recommend doing that, or going directly to a professional who can really tell you this is what you need, the steps you need to take?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that can be really tricky, especially if it is holiday blues, because sometimes some of the reasons that we are feeling sad or depressed have to do with our direct family members or friends. And sometimes, even though they may be our first line of defense, if you will, they may not be the most healthy people to depend on. So it really depends on the situation. Certainly if you do have healthy friends and supportive friends and family, then absolutely going to them and talking about and reflecting on some of the things could be a terrific strategy and great healing too, especially if it is about something specific like a loss of something that you could share with somebody else. That can be really healing. So I think it's if there aren't those people in your life that you can depend on, or you're not sure, or maybe they might be a part of the problem.
Problem as well. I was just going to say it could make something that was small maybe even bigger because you include another person in it now.
Exactly. And so it's not ever a bad thing to go seek professional help. Maybe it's just a couple of sessions to talk it through with somebody and just get a completely objective perspective.
And I think that's a great point that you made, getting an objective perspective and getting something that's just something that wouldn't be repeated to you from even your close friends who are involved in your normal everyday lifestyle. And I think it is important that people understand that it's I think there's a huge stigma with going to seek professional help. I think it's people feel flawed or damaged or whatever they may feel, and I think it's important that people realize that you should feel no guilt for seeking help. If anything, it's a betterment of yourself, and you're improving your situation as well. So it's a good thing.
Absolutely, and that's so true. We have such a cultural idea that asking for help for anything is a weakness.
Yeah, it makes you broken.
Instead of a strength.
Exactly.
And really asking for help in any realm of your life, in any area, is actually a real strength. Because, and it's so interesting that the majority of people that feel the worst when they ask help are usually those people who are so excited to help others and feel so good when others help them. Of course I'll be there to help you.
That is so interesting. And they're the least likely to ask for help themselves.
Right.
Wow, that's very interesting. Yeah. So what are some tips, some things that we can do outside of going to seek professional help that can help to kind of curb these holiday blues and help us getting back onto the right track and feeling healthy again?
Yeah, so first, kind of going back to what we first talked about, it's important to be able to identify what is it that's making me sad or anxious, so then you can do something that actually affects that. So, for example, if I am here for the holidays or here for the season and I don't know anybody, maybe I'm here working at one of the resorts, so maybe I feel isolated or lonely, then it would be really important to go out. So look in the newspaper or listen to the television or walk around, look on the bulletin boards at the coffee shops and find activities, especially free activities that are going on that you could be a part of, and you could meet people that have similar interests in you, be a part of the community more.
And Park City is definitely a place where you can take care of that. I mean, any time of the year, it doesn't matter if it's -2 degrees outside, someone is doing something.
Absolutely.
So that's a great example of how you can get out and get involved and expand your social circle if you are here just working for the holidays and you don't have anyone else here.
Yeah, something else too also that is really helpful is getting outside of yourself. Sometimes if we don't go and seek professional help or talk to anybody about it because we are embarrassed or we think it's a weakness, we keep it inside and sometimes we ruminate about it over and over again. And so getting out in the community and volunteering is another great way. There are so many great nonprofit organizations in this community, the Christian Center, Peace House, Connect, the Recycle Center, just to name a few, Nuzzles and Company, and there's long lists.
So many options to get involved, and you can help so many other people, and it empowers yourself, like you said. I think that's awesome.
And it helps us to feel a lot better because we're giving and we're also focusing on somebody else and helping them. So it always makes us feel a lot better to volunteer.
And so I understand you have 3 locations here in Summit County where people can come see you guys and get some help, or even just talk if you guys need to talk. Where can people find you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, Valley Behavioral Health, we're the community mental health provider for all of Summit County. We have an office on Sidewinder Drive in Park City, on Main Street in Camas, and Colville also. Our main number is 435-649-8347, and our website is valleycares.org. So you can go to any of those locations
and make an appointment online.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. I think it's very important during this time of the year to consider your mental health and to consider staying positive and upbeat, and it is okay to seek help and to talk to people if you are feeling low, if you have those issues. Dodie gave some great examples of how to get involved in the community if you are feeling a little lonely or anything like that, definitely visit them if you're feeling low, not just during this time of the year, but any time of the year. It's very important to be honest with yourself and honest with others about how you're feeling mentally, because it keeps not only you healthy in general, but happy, which is very important. We'll be right back with much more on the Mountain Morning Show right after this.